Imagine if you could boost your real life charisma, just like you increase your stats in a video game. How different would your life be? Would you have more friends, more influence at work, or more romantic success? Well, whatever your goals, the good news is you actually can improve your charisma, and this video is going to show you how. But first, a totally necessary disclaimer. Make sure to only use your newfound charismatic powers for good, and never for evil. Make the world a better place, don't tear it down. I also want to make it clear that this isn't some cheat code. In-game stat increases only come through doing the work. You have to complete quests and use your skills consistently to make it happen. And the real world is no different. You'll need to practice consistently and be prepared to put in the work if you want the results. But trust me, they're 100% worth it. So with that in mind, I recommend practicing these exercises at least once per day. Obviously, the more the better, but always find time each and every day. Cramming 7 lots of practice into one day and then skipping the rest of the week is far less effective and your results will suffer. So, with that out of the way, let's jump in and look at all the ways you can boost your real life charisma stat. 1. Work on your eye contact. We say that the eyes are the windows to the soul, not because there's actually a shiny bubble of soul floating around in there, but because the pupils and muscles around the eyes are accurate indicators of emotion. When you look into someone's eyes, you can feel them and understand them, but it's also an effective way to teach them about you. Your own eye contact can be used to display intention, emotion, and most importantly, confidence. And this brings us to our first stat booster. For at least one conversation every day, I want you to hold eye contact with the other person longer than you normally would. This doesn't mean staring at them without blinking. After all, that would probably make the other person uncomfortable. In particular, aim to hold eye contact roughly 80% of the time while the other person is talking, and around 60% while you're talking. The latter is a little lower because it's natural to look away and into space when thinking and gathering your thoughts. 2. Practice placing the spotlight on other people. This basically means that when you're interacting with someone, make sure to place the focus of the conversation on them. Think about it. We all know what it's like to meet someone new and have to listen to them go on and on about how great they are. You never want to see them again, right? On the other hand, you've probably also had the experience of meeting someone and feeling like they just get you. If you think back, it was probably because they kept the focus on you. To take it a step further, you should also think about their wants and needs. Are they continually mentioning something specific in conversation? Then they probably want to talk about it. All you need to do is start asking them questions and they'll love you for it. In fact, this is one of the key principles behind effective marketing. The best marketers and salespeople know that focusing on what their customer wants is far more important for making a sale than almost anything else. One of the key reasons why this works is because it makes the other person feel noticed and important. And ultimately, that's something we all want to some degree or another. You can ramp that feeling up even further for them by really focusing on and remembering your interactions with them. Ever met someone once and then had them remember your name or key details about you months or even years later? It feels amazing, and if you can make other people feel that way, it will do wonders for your charisma. So, just like with eye contact, aim to actively practice this during your conversations. The results will astound you. And if it helps, think about it in video game terms. What do you do when someone's giving you a quest? You shut up and listen, right? After all, the information they're giving you could be important. Even after they've finished talking, you go out and help them with whatever task that needed doing. Bring this approach to your interactions. Make it about the quest giver. 3. Practice being mindful of and adjusting your body language. Body language is especially important for charisma because it's often one of the first things people notice about you. How you carry and present yourself can and does sway people's opinions of you before you've even spoken or exchanged names. So, learning how to carry yourself to display a strong, confident, charismatic persona is incredible for impressing people before you've even met. Now, I'll give you a powerful tip for adjusting your body language in a second, but in general, it's extremely nuanced and there's a lot to learn. So your best bet would be to go and watch this video here, or if you're a reader, you can check out Joe Navarro's What Everybody Is Saying. It's a goldmine for understanding body language. but I do want you to leave this video with something that you can immediately start implementing. So here we go. One of the biggest things that guys get wrong with their body language is posture. In particular, I'm talking about the head, neck, and shoulder position. Think about the biggest, baddest dudes in your favorite games. How do they carry themselves? Confident, powerful people tend to carry themselves very upright. There's no slouching. So I want you to start being mindful of your posture throughout the day. Keep your shoulders back and your neck and head upright, with your eyes looking straight ahead. This will immediately make you look more confident and allow for more charisma as a result. Just imagine yourself walking through town wearing a full set of some awesome max level armor. 4. Get into the habit of being open and authentic. This is a big one, and I'm willing to bet that for most of you, it's probably going to be the biggest obstacle for you to overcome on your journey towards a high charisma stat. Many of us have a lot of trouble being ourselves, and often it comes down to simply being afraid of other people judging us. And it's something that video games don't really help us with, and this is because there's just no risk. The random NPCs in the game aren't going to judge you for saying something weird or stumbling over a sentence. They're just programmed to do their thing. When we're in-game, we're free to suggest things, try to persuade people, and generally speak our mind. And if you want to be charismatic, this is where you need to get in real life as well. Judgment or no judgment. So, you're going to start working towards being open and authentic in one simple way, by removing your inner filter. This is something that the guys from Charisma on Command talk about quite a bit. And FYI, I strongly recommend checking out their channel if you somehow discovered me first. Basically, removing your inner filter boils down to speaking without overthinking. It's about ignoring or drowning out that pessimistic voice in your head that says your thought isn't worth voicing because it's stupid or other people will have already thought of it or whatever. So, to practice this, whenever you interact with someone that you're not completely yourself with, you're going to push yourself to ignore that filter and say one extra thing that you otherwise wouldn't have. It will be difficult to start with, but it gets much easier as time goes on, and your interactions will improve by a huge amount. Remember, if you want to have a high charisma stat, you can't be afraid of people thinking you're weird. Instead, you should start being afraid of people thinking you're boring. 6. Move out of your comfort zone. This is the final piece of the puzzle, and in actuality can be applied to pretty much any form of improvement or learning. In video games, you can only earn experience points and level up by doing relevant, challenging content. The same is true for improving in life. The experience and results come from pushing yourself to places you've never gone before. If you want to improve your eye contact, you'll have to hold it for longer than is comfortable for you. And if you want to remove your filter, you have to be prepared to push through a few potentially awkward interactions where you blurt out whatever's on your mind. And if you want to become a charisma god, you'll have to go through plenty of social discomfort to get there. But that's not to be discouraging. After all, you'll be rewarded with plenty of improvements and awesome moments along the way. Just remember to use them as motivation. So, if you enjoyed this video, you should go and watch this one here. It's all about grabbing your fun-filled and exciting approach to video games and then bringing that out into the real world. Anyway, thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and until next time, live awesome.